Let me look at you at the camera.
I mean,
Yeah, cool.
cameras aren't even there, man.
So my name is Michael Credle. I am for the last say 5 or 6 years been a full-time jiu-jitsu instructor. I'm originally from Saskatchewan and I now reside in Chilliwack, BC.
And without jujitsu, who are you?
Oh, honestly, I don't even know. I
Yeah,
think
you do.
I think I'm a husband. I'm a father. You know what I mean? I think I like to say I'm a good person. I mean, or try to be. Yeah, you know what I mean. We use that term loosely, but it is not hard to separate it. But I know that jujitsu is a big part of my life. Like, I mean, there's definitely a big who Mike was before jujitsu and then who Mike was after jujitsu. You know what I mean? And not limited to jujitsu, just martial arts, kind of discipline in general. So I think it is a big part of who I am. Kind of helped me find, like, kind of made me kind of be like responsible and even like start, sort kind of being accountable, stuff like that. Kind of helped me grow up a little bit. You know, uh, kinda what we were previously talking about, but, um, but, like, I know, like, leading up to before I started jujitsu and all that stuff, the circle of friends I had and, like, what my Friday, Saturday, Sundays would look like, and then after that, slowly started to change, so it's definitely a big part of who I am, for sure.
Yeah, when we so we started training
Well,
like it had to be 18 years ago,
so
19
I
years
started
ago,
when I was 22, I'm 38, so it's good 16 years ago.
so 16 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And when we started, we were kind of doing everything.
Yeah, I started
Kickboxing,
jujitsu to do MMA. Like,
right?
jujitsu was like the side quest
Me
on my
too.
way to do MMA.
I'm like, I'm gonna get good enough not to get taken down,
Yeah,
so I can
just
get back to my feet.
just so I can fight in a cage.
Yeah.
Fought in a cage and then figured out not for me.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So when did that? Okay. When did you? When did that happen? Where jujitsu became like the lead?
That first year that I started training, because I think like most people do, I tend to enjoy things more that I'm good at and tend to shy away from things I'm not as good at. And at first, thought I was good at kickboxing. Which I don't really no. So at first I kind of thought I was good at kickboxing, and I think I was good on a bag. I was good at hitting pads. I think once you start to spar, you kind of figure out that hitting pads and sparring is it's a little bit different. But I could tell from the first time that I started doing jujitsu, I think my first part of jujitsu, I bought a private from her name's Karen. I don't remember her last name. I think you remember her. Yes. Yes. Older lady. I did my first private with her, and it was the first time I ever did an armbar from close guard. I instantly knew that, like, I was gonna be good at jujitsu. Like, it came super like, it came, let's say, easy to me, but I still did all the white belt stuff. Like, I still sucked and tried way too hard when I shouldn't have, and would always ask, like, "Oh, I'm getting good, hey?" And it's like 2 months in, you're like, "Yeah," like, "No." You know what I mean? But I could tell that, very early it was that first year where I could tell, like, my strengths were, like, taking people down and, like, just doing jujitsu. That was definitely I could tell right away. Arms too short to strike. I had short arms, man. I learned right away sparring against you. I was like, this is way easier if I got cold on the ground.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like you're the only person who has ever put me to sleep.
That was a big accident. I was so terrified when that happened. So you know what I've learned over these years is that I'm actually like a pretty big pussy. Like I do not like hurting people. I struggle with competing because I have to turn it up against my students, and it just it kills me. I hate it.
Mm,
I can like feel them get disheartened mid roll or mid sparring session. For anyone who doesn't know what rolling means, and it like my heart drops. I think girl dad. I got 2 kids, and the older I get, the softer I am.
do you compete still?
Yes. My last competition was November of last year, 2025. I did ADCC Vancouver. I did the adult division, which like I'm 38. masters is 30 plus, and then every 5 years it's another master. So I think I could have done masters too, but I did adult, and I think there was 18 people, and I got fourth.
Nice.
Wait, no, I'm upset, dude. I'm
Okay,
upset.
never mind.
I could, I should have did better, but yeah, I still compete. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, like when you say, because like that like killer instinct is not something everybody has.
No,
You know?
dude. And it's not something that everyone like you might have it, doesn't mean it's there forever. Like
Right.
when I was 22,
Yeah.
23, 24, as your typical, like, I'm trying to fuck people up and I compete. And I was like trying to I remember, white belt tournament days, like trying, like thinking in my head, like I wanted to hurt people. Like I
Yeah.
wanted to, everything I did was with the intent of hurting them and not knowing anything. My technique was terrible, so not hurting anyone, but definitely I had the intensity. Like I think anyone who remembers rolling with me when I was a white belt and a blue belt, I was always going super hard and all that stuff. And then I think you start doing it for so long, and then your things change. I think priorities change. I think early on, the only value I think I had, like I could find in myself, is if I was winning a tournament or if I was like competing. Like I thought that's the only way to like feel good about what I was doing. And then slowly but surely you start getting into like teaching and all this stuff, and I started to get more value out of teaching, which made like the want to compete just not as important. Like truly would show up and go like, I literally don't care if I win or lose. I'm just happy to be here, and
Yeah.
more about it means more to me for my students to go and perform to their best than it is for me. And I definitely lost the fire, like for sure. Like even with all my camps, I try to get that instinct, but it's like I've apologized. Case point, my last tournament, I apologized to my opponent for collar tying them too hard. I said, "Oh, my bad," and they're like, "It's okay." Well, dude, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. Like I say this to a lot of my students. I always go, if it always comes down to who wants it more, I guarantee you they want it more than me,
Right.
because like I don't. It's just not important to me anymore.
Yeah.
Definitely lost that. Especially like I don't know if you know, when I first moved here, like when I left Saskatchewan, at the time, the all the work stopped, and like I was working at potash mines primarily, and the work kind of dried up, and Melissa got pregnant, got really sick, so there was no work. So I moved out here to try to get some work, and I was like living in my car, and I slept on, like, at my now coach, like my coach is Matt Kwan from On Guard Jiu Jitsu out in Pitt Meadows. He's my coach. I used to sleep in his gym, and I went from like trying to find 1 or 2 day jobs and trying to scrape up money to bring my family down to like teaching a room full of people, where it's like I just nothing changes if I win or lose. Like whether I win or I lose, Monday I'm still showing up to a room full of people, and so it's like,
Yeah.
so my drive to win, I just don't care.
I can relate to that because I feel like that even when I fight. It's like, especially with amateur,
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna do pro.
you should.
I think in June I'm gonna do my first pro. But for amateur, to me, amateur boxing is just glorified sparring.
Sparring, absolutely. It's
So it's
just
like whether I win or lose doesn't matter.
doesn't matter. No one ever
It's
brings
like I'm
up
just learning. I'm just seeing if like the stuff I'm doing in the gym is
you can
working
replicate
in
it
real time.
100%.
It's like when I get tired, am my hand staying up?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like
What habits do you carry into the ring?
yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
And I've had like the opportunity of boxing very high level,
Mhm, mhm,
where it's like I get put in situation like because like I'm like not I'm like a pretty pressure boxer,
mhm,
like I
mhm.
throw a lot
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
always move
Yeah,
forward.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I kind of like control the rhythm of
The
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 fight,
pace, yeah. You've
and
always
it's
been
like
like that.
I've always been like
Yeah.
that. So it's like most fights are easy to me.
Yeah, yeah, that's
It's
right.
like it's my fight, my pace,
And you've been doing it for a long
and I've
time
been doing it for a
too.
long time. But I've fought some guys that are like international level
Yeah,
boxers,
yeah,
#1 in Canada,
yeah, those levels up.
and those are the funnest because it's like
Yeah,
now I'm thinking.
yeah,
Now I'm like, okay,
yeah.
this guy's like slowly figuring me out.
And that's when the game starts
Oh
to
yeah, and
become
now I'm
fun.
like, and then in that fight, I was like, I could hear their coach. Their coach is amazing.
Yeah, yeah,
He's saying
yeah.
exactly
Giving the
everything,
yeah.
the exact right.
You're like, "Stop."
Yeah, and then it's like I'm slowly he's figuring me out.
Yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah.
now I'm like, okay, now I know he's figuring me out. How
So
am I
now
gonna react?
what's the second game plan?
And now it's like now it's going terribly.
Oh,
You
dude.
know? And now I'm starting to do things I don't usually do.
Yes,
And
because
it's
'cause you're
like,
not used to being put in those kind of
right.
deep waters.
And I'm like, frick, that's cool. To feel like that
Oh,
because it's like,
dude.
but like I wish I would have done that more.
But
But just to like, because like even though I lost that fight,
mm,
I feel like
you learn
I could win.
100%, and you get so much from it. And I always tell like similar thing where it's like no one cares about your amateur record,
No, no
or
one
like I
cares.
tell my students, nobody cares what you did at white belt or
Right.
blue belt. Like just
Yeah.
go and compete. It doesn't matter win or lose. Nobody cares, right? It's like what you gain from that win or lose is super valuable.
Yeah.
And it's like you're a student of the game. You've been around it for so long, whether it's kickboxing, MMA, jiu-jitsu, striking, it doesn't matter. So it's like you know the value out of hard
Yeah.
sessions or good you know what good training looks like. Like I could probably safely say that you've been doing this long enough that your ego's in the right place,
Yeah.
right? Like you don't try to win every round or like you know how to uh you know case in point like when you had said that you're coming out to spar and Max, the owner of the gym that you were at, he was just like, I get a little bit nervous when people come out to spar for the first time. Sometimes people don't know how to spar. And I was like, my man's been around. He knows how to spar. Like learning how to spar is a skill. Learning how to be a good partner in jujitsu is a skill. And a lot of people, myself included, I use myself all the time. I've held myself back from growth. So I can like now I can look back and go, there's so many times where I like it mattered so much to me to like win that drill or win that round or whatever it is. And I just, all you do is halt your progress. You don't see it at the time, right? You're bulletproof and ignorant. People like, hey, like try to like be on your back a little bit more or like try your takedowns or whatever it is, And I think people hold themselves back by not knowing the value of like taking L's or like losing training or, it's
Even
so
seeing
bad.
it that way is frustrating because even some of my boxers, they're just like, "Oh, I lost that round." I'm like, "What are you talking about? You lost that round. We're sparring
There's
for
no
one."
such thing.
I'm like,
Yes.
"What are you saying, man? You lost that round. Like, what were you trying to do in there?"
But you know what though? I feel like it's like, and you're a father, right? And I'm a father. So it's like I find myself saying the same things to my kids that my mom said to me. And at the time, I was like, Mom, you don't know me. You don't get it. I'm different. Same with box with your athletes or with your students. I'm saying the same things to the white belts that was told to me, knowing that they're not going to listen.
Yeah,
But knowing I have to do my part in saying the thing
yeah.
doesn't matter. They got to learn it on their own. And they would progress a lot quicker if they just listened to us. But I'm sure our coaches felt the same way back when we were first starting. It's one of those things where you got to learn, you just got to learn it. People can tell you till they're blue in the face, but you
Sometimes it takes like the 300th time of saying it,
you
and
go,
then it just clicks.
oh, we're actually just training. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, so I don't need to get my nose broken every Friday when we spar. No, no, not really.
It's funny because like that Delaney that I was telling you
Mm,
about, that business owner, um, that's what something he said to me with business, but now I apply it to everything, is like, if you want to be a leader or a good leader or a good mentor,
mm.
you have to be able to give advice and not be emotionally attached to that advice
Oh, yes.
because you're gonna have to say it hundreds and hundreds and
100,
hundreds of
yes.
times. And it's
100%.
like, so you give them the advice, and whatever they do with that advice doesn't matter
Yeah, yep.
because like they're on their own journey,
That's right.
and at some point it will click.
So funny. Like, you're going to find out throughout this podcast, I relate everything to jujitsu,
Me too with
but
boxing,
yeah,
to be
like all the
honest.
time, where I tell a story where, and it's funny because you're from my white belt days back to Shears. I remember learning, I remember going to a class and we were learning X guard. And this is like within my first 3 months of doing jujitsu. I remember as soon as I think it was Troy at the time said, "Yeah, we're doing X guard," I instantly knew this class was not for me. I was like, I was even trying to retain it. I was still trying to do arm bars, and I was like, X guard, like it was like Greek to me. So I wasn't ready to retain. I wasn't ready for that lesson. They still showed it to me, didn't hit, and then it was like, a year and a half later, I learned X guard again. I'm like, oh, now this is the missing piece to the puzzle. You know what I mean? It's like you might learn stuff. Not saying it's the wrong advice. It might just be too early in your journey to
Right.
hear that advice. I use that analogy all the time, right? Because I'll show stuff to people and I'll be like, listen, this might not be applicable to you at all right now, but at least you've seen it. And then next time you see it, maybe it's how many months from now and you're progressed somewhere different in your game. All of a sudden, we go back to this X guard for the sake of the argument. And all of a sudden you go, oh, now I get it. Cause all the prerequisites you've already built, or you're on that path. And then all of a sudden you hit it. Then it makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
So there's stuff like that all the time.
Always.
All the time, dude. And I feel like so many people, especially whether advice or whatever it is, people are so quick to dismiss it. And if only they were just like, even if they weren't, they don't need to dismiss, even if it's not for them at the time, just
Yeah,
kind
I'm
of,
gonna put this over here for now.
yes, just table it. So many
Yeah.
people dismiss it. But I mean,
Especially like when you're first starting.
yes,
'Cause like even with boxing, it's like I can't even throw a jab properly, and you want me to throw this freaking slip counter,
yes,
and it's like, let me figure out this jab, and it's like, yeah, we'll figure out that jab.
yeah. But also, there's this.
This does work,
Yes, dude.
and yeah, it's just like there's steps but that's the thing about a class too is it's hard because everyone's on the
Oh,
like
so
with
many different
oh
levels
yeah
in
with
the
box
room.
like it's just like you can see some people are like, "Oh, doing this again," and it's like,
You know what?
"Come on."
You know what's so funny? It's so funny because, like, again, I remember learning something at like Shears, let's say when I first started, and we wouldn't see that again for like months. And I would just be like, I wish that I got shown that again, just so I could learn it. You see it once, you're not going to remember it. So now, how I teach in blocks. Like I have like a couple concepts, and it's like this is what we're doing for the next 2 or 3 weeks. We're going to
Right.
build off this. We build like a system. We start here and we grow and repetitive, repetitive, repetitive. And at first, people would be like, "Oh, like I already know how to do that." And I go, "Okay, well, show me." And then I'll pick their stuff apart. And I always tell people, it's like, listen, I know how to do an armbar. And I don't know if you know who John Danaher is. But he was George St. Pierre's coach. And he's like in the jujitsu world, he's one of the best, most brilliant minds in all of grappling. A lot of his athletes are some of the best ever to compete. He's brilliant jujitsu mind. He has a bunch of instructionals out. And there's three. There was ones about Kimuras, triangles, and arm bars. And I had his whole collection. And I'd always go to the leg locks and all the stuff because like I know how to do arm bars. I know how to do arm bars. I've been doing jujitsu for 16 years. So one day I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just put it on. In 15 minutes, I learned so much about an arm bar that I've been doing since day one. I've done 10,000 hours worth of arm bars. And this instructional was like 6 hours long. The first 15 minutes showed me about seven things that I'd never seen before. And I was like, so now when people give me that attitude, like, well, I've already seen this, it's like, listen, just because it's not broken doesn't mean you can't fix it. Like there's always something. There's always something. You have to be obsessed with tiny details. Like, especially like let's say with jujitsu, you learn the bulk of your jujitsu, but from white to blue belt, like you kind of know a bunch of stuff. You know it all. From like blue to black, it's the same game, but done like perfectly.
Right.
Right. You know what I mean? So it's like when people go, like, iota, all right, well then do it. Do it 10 million more times.
Yeah, you're
'Cause
going to.
you're going to. You're
So,
going to.
might as well not
And
complain
guess
about
what?
it.
It'll still suck. It'll still suck. You know what I mean? So I don't care how many times, uh I'll show something because because I go, if I can like look at an armbar, from someone who has more like technical ability than me, and I can pick up stuff after doing jujitsu probably a lot longer than you have. then you can do the arm drag again. There's going to be little things, like if you change your mindset on it instead of going like I have to and go like I get to like explore my technique and try maybe a few steps over here. Like there's always a way to get better. I think that's what, I think most people learn from any kind of martial art. It's like
Yeah.
it's the search of perfection. And the goal is you'll never get there, but it doesn't stop you from keep on doing the same stuff?
Even with like, I think that's like the value of cross training too, because even just somebody explaining it differently,
Yes,
and
dude.
it just like even that helps. 'Cause even with like when I'm coaching boxing or I'm like teaching the overhand, right?
Yeah.
And I could just they're just not. Sometimes I'll just call Eric over. I'll be like, Eric, explain the overhand right.
Yep.
And just the way he explains it, it's just like
It
different
lands.
enough
Yes.
that I can see it that they're like, oh, and then they
Yes.
do it right. I'm just like,
Dude, that's one of the beauty of you can go to 10 different people and they can all show you the same technique. And you're always going to get a little bit of it's the nuance of the same technique is that makes because also everyone's different sizes and shapes. So your overhand right might not be the one that I can do versus the one that someone else can do. Right. So if we just all think like, no, this is how you do it. You know what I mean? It's impossible. Like I'm a big geek. I'm a big Star Wars geek. Only Siths deal in absolutes. Like there's no absolute way to do anything. There's like certain boxes that have to be checked. Then everything else, there's always going to be little differences. So you got to go like that's like you said, the beauty of cross training is that everyone can explain it a little bit different. Everyone has their own little quirks. Like I say to people like during classes, like you're going to get a lot of your best information from your training partner. Like, yes, I'm the coach. I set the tone for the conversation, but you're learning a lot from your partner. So it's like I might show you how this is how we're going to do it, but you'll with your partner, they'll give you little tweaks and all these things. So it's like you'll always find different ways to do it depending on who you're working with or who you're learning from. And I think that stuff is so valuable because it's like MMA, let's say. It's like you're gonna learn a whole bunch of stuff, but then it's like up to you to kind of make it your own and kind of put it together. Like even today, I was teaching class. The way I show it, I walk around the room and I see like several different ways of how they get there or little adjustments that they do, which the core of the technique is correct, but how they do it is they're all different, and that's kind of the beauty of it. You know,
and here, like, how many gyms do you coach at?
I coach at 4.
Four.
Yeah.
How different is each gym?
So different. So all gyms kind of have their own like what they're good at. Like one gym is a very heavy gi school with like very classic like color.
The nice thing about these mics too is they just focus on our
They
voices.
cancel out.
Yeah.
Nice, good. Like they have like very strong like collar sleeve kind of attack. And then there's another gym that I go to. They do hardly any nogi, and they're just a very like old school kind of like where we kind of came up, like get on top, stay on top, smash. And then we have like gym here that we're currently at, where it's a little bit in the middle. Like all gyms are super different. And I get like that's honestly one of the best things I've learned from coaching at all these different gyms is like because I'll coach kind of like the same thing at every gym with I teach all a bunch of kids classes and adults classes, and they're all on kind of like the same kind of curriculum. But what I teach on Monday will look so much different from how I teach it on Friday because it's like Monday is almost like the beta test, and I run it through my kids, my adults, and then they'll give me really good questions. Maybe it's questions I've never thought of before, and we kind of figure it out, which will enhance the way I change it on Tuesday. And I'll say, hey, when we were doing it this way, some people found that this was a problem. So we addressed this. So it's like, it's almost like that telephone game. But by the time I get to Friday or like I had my teaching days on Saturday, what I taught on Monday looks a little bit different by the time I teach it on Saturday because it's gone through all these different lenses of like different students and different body types and different levels. So it's great. Like it's like I learn different ways to teach it or like how you said like different words to make things land,
Yeah.
so I think that has helped my teaching the most, just different sets of people who understand things different levels. Some people use different like vernaculars, like You know what I mean? Like some people
Yeah.
call it a this and some people call it a this. So it's like I get to yeah, it really makes my teaching a lot better, I think, because of all the different ways I have to teach it, you know?
Yeah, you're very good, like, at explaining.
Some would say over explain.
Well, I think that's good. Like, I think that's good
To
because
some.
well, like, I'm like, as I was watching you, I'm, like, thinking in my head, like, that's such a good explanation. Like, it was just,
Yeah.
like, so and I was, like, because I was thinking of my coaching as I was watching you coach, and I'm, like, because sometimes I people will ask me about what I do, like, when I'm sparring and stuff,
Yeah.
and, like, I don't really know how to explain
Not
how or why I do it.
not conscious
So
of what you're
yeah,
doing.
man.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
my self-awareness sucks. I'm like, "Frick, what?" I'm like, I'm gonna have to, like, record it and watch.
You know what? Thank you for that. I've actually it's so funny. When I started coaching, I was so nervous. I was like, I didn't think I could teach anything. And, and my coaching has changed so much over the last few years. But now, honestly, I get a ton of really good feedback about how I coach. What some of the most like nervous, like the most like nervous ever been when I first started teaching, black belts would show up and I get so scared and I just kind of do what I do and I get so much like so many compliments from like higher level belts and all this stuff. And yeah, I break things down a lot and I owe that to my head coach. He was one of the first people to like introduce me to like kind of like um what's the word I'm looking for? Um Conceptual based like teaching and just how to look at jujitsu, not like a bunch of moves, but kind of use certain concepts and like using things like inward rotation and just being a lot more like scientific, I guess. Like my coach, his name is Matt Kwan, and he got his black belt from a very highly regarded coach from Nanaimo. His name's Rob Bernacki from Island Top Team. He's coached all over the world. He's been flown in to help like high level jiu-jitsu guys get prepared for ADCC and all these things. Very elite level coach. But that's how he coaches. Very broken down, very like body anatomy kind of based. And it was when I first met Matt, that's how he first started teaching me. And it was just, learned so much so quickly. Like, I'm the type of guy that's like, I need to know the why and the how. And if I can understand that, I can just like, I'll always remember something. And I remember like, first one, let's say a triangle, like for the longest time, I thought you could only do a triangle or an arm bar, let's say from closed guard, because I learned that sequence. And so it took me so long to like get out of that, and when you start looking at things at like conceptually, things tend to stick a little bit better. And so that's just how I teach. That's how I was taught. Like when I moved out here, I think I was a two-stripe blue belt. And like I bumped into Matt through a friend and right away, just like even the feedback he'd give me was so insanely like precise and constructive. Like it was like you just I would never forget it. He was just so analytical with how he broke stuff down,
Mm.
where he just had to show me or tell me at once, and it would just be locked in. And so, like he's been my coach for 10 years, and so it's the only way I kind of know how to coach is I just emulate him, and he's like On Guard is one of the most successful schools in Canada. He has some very high level. He has one guy. I don't know if you've heard of Adam Primetime Posner, but he fights in the local shows here at BFL. But he's poised to make the UFC. He's like a 19-year-old phenom, and he's one of Matt's students. And really good grappler. He makes a lot of really good athletes, and it's the way he coaches. So I try to
Do you go out there much?
not as much as I'd like to, maybe once or twice a month. It's so hard. Like
Yeah.
one of the biggest lies you believe is you think that you start teaching that you'll just train a bunch. It's like I've trained less than I've ever trained.
Oh, me too.
Right? Like, well,
Me
you can't. Like, there's an odd one out. Like, that's a group of three. Like, I'm watching the room constantly, and I just never have time to see Matt. Like, I teach every evening. Like, I teach Monday to Friday, basically, depending on privates. but 3 till 9:30, and then Saturdays I teach from 10 till 3, and, I I never have time to see him. So it's like, I feel like in ways, I think I've stopped kind of progressing in some ways, but I think in other ways, my skill has evolved just because 'cause I'm
Right.
constantly breaking things down, but I call him dad. It's always nice to see dad every once in a while.
Something you said, when you were talking about the arm bar from a closed guard,
Mhm.
and you had to unlearn,
Yes.
because that's something I struggle with, is unlearning bad habits,
Yes,
you
and the
know?
older you get, the harder it is.
Yeah, like, because I find myself, like, sparring and I'm doing something, I'm like, "Frick, I shouldn't be doing that."
Mhm.
And then, like, 3 rounds later, I catch myself doing it again, and I'm just like, "Man, I need to unlearn this," but how do you unlearn?
Well, I would say to you, do you pay the price for the thing that you do? Because sometimes you can get false positives. So, I had a lot of bad habits coming from Saskatchewan, and what nothing changed my mind quicker than coming here and getting absolutely shit kicked.
Right.
Like the level, because everyone cross trains. So like the floor is super high. Like no one's like, we don't share our secrets. Even like all the pro grapplers, all the comp teams, like you go to a comp practice of any one gym, there's like 4 or 5 gyms there.
Cool.
Everybody trains hard together because everyone's kind of like, let's go get the American stuff. Like they're all trying to go to Worlds and ADCC. So
Let's make BC great.
yeah, let's get
Yeah.
good together and then go fight everybody else. So like the level is so high out here where like if you make this mistake and you just get instantly destroyed for it. Right? So like if you're at a place that say if you can get away with bad habits, and that's the thing. Like it's I would say it would take more discipline to unlearn something if there's no repercussion for your action. That's if every time you're throwing your jab, you're dropping your arm because no one can hit your face or no one's capitalizing on that mistake, then it's kind of like it's hard to stop doing it because you're like, but like I beat everybody up here. So like why
Right.
would I? Right. And so if you're in a room where, you like you said, let's say if it's 3 rounds, you're doing the same mistake, and you're like, I'm getting cracked every.
Right.
It's a lot easier to unlearn a bad habit if there's an instant like result of your action. And that I just got fortunate that I ended up, becoming like Matt's student probably within the first week that I moved here, and he just like kind of took me under his arm, under his wing, and I just like right away was getting thrown into like as a blue belt, like rolling purple belts and brown belts and black belts and like people who like go down to worlds and all this stuff, just like really high level partners. What they weren't trying to hurt me, but they were just like, I do something stupid and I'm like, oh yeah, no, I shouldn't have done that. Tap, restart. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh God, I can't. Like I remember there's this one guy, his name's CJ. He's a black belt now. Really good foot locker and as a blue belt. And I think he was a pro belt at the time. And I rolled with him and I kept doing um oh, what's it called? De La Hiva in Nogi, and I kept putting my foot on his hip, and he just would ankle lock me. I got ankle locked 3 times in a row within 35 seconds just because you'd ankle lock me like, "Oh, okay." We'd slap bump, I'd sit to my butt. He'd ankle lock me again. It's like it was one of those where I was like, to this day, I don't play De La Hiva that way because it's like he almost broke my foot. Like it was crazy, right? So I think, um, like to answer your question, I think it depends. I would say, if you know what your problems are, then it's one of those things where, like, whether you're like using film to watch your own sparring sessions, whatever it is to have the discipline to go like, kind of like how we're talking about not winning rounds, like where you go, there I accept that there will be a temporary lack of success because I'm trying to fix or acquire a new skill, let's say. So it's sometimes the ego can't handle it. Like at least like in jujitsu, something goes bad, like you get your guard passed or something. I feel like the stakes are higher when you're striking, where you might go like, yeah, it's a bad habit, but like I'm keeping myself safe or whatever it is. So I feel it's like you either get the discipline to know that like I'm going to temporarily not have as much success because I'm trying to actively fix something, or you're in a room where your weaknesses are daily highlighted. And therefore you either fix them or you just stop training because you're just sick of getting your ass kicked all the time, you know?
You know, the issue with probably kickboxing too, but boxing, um, because like nobody's like hard sparring
Yeah,
every
yeah.
class anymore. You
No,
know, it's
no.
like
That's old school way.
95% of light
Yeah,
sparring
touch.
where we're just touching, learning, and then like if you have a camp, maybe we'll do a couple hard
Yeah, yeah.
sessions, you know. But like the problem with that with boxing is that like a lot of the boxers don't have enough experience to like visualize what's happening. So it's like,
Yes.
you know, like I'll land something and then they'll land something back maybe better or more, and they think they would have won that exchange, but like I hit you first, your head would have snapped back,
Yeah,
and those
yeah,
punches wouldn't have
that
landed.
wouldn't even yes, I know exactly what
So
you
like
mean.
that part,
It's like false
so
positives
like I
on the
try to
eye
explain that to them, but then I could still see
because they don't get it,
they don't
right?
get it, you know?
Yeah.
And like same with kickboxing. You know, it's like because even when I kickbox, I'm hand dominant.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like that roundhouse wouldn't have landed
Yeah, that's
because
right.
I would have went bang bang,
Yeah.
1, 2, your head would have snapped
You
back,
would have
and
been
that
not as
kick would have
balanced
been
100%. It would have
so it's
lost the
like
mustard.
I don't know if everyone understands that.
So that's why it's like where it goes like you nailed it on the head where it's like the boxers, like that's a the example, like ones that you're with, right? They don't have the experience to know the situation. So it's like there's two things there. You either like you get in the habit of like videotaping your rounds, and so you can kind of see it and go like again, you'd have to kind of get that understanding of like, well, I guess I probably wouldn't have got that. He caught me pretty clean.
Right.
So you either that's the value of amateur fighting, like getting like live rounds, like where it's like more intensity, or that's where like coaching comes in, right? Where it's like that's the coach's job to be like, listen, you like, yeah, you got those off, but you got to know, like, let's try to not get hit because you know what I mean. Like, I think when it comes to inexperience of athlete or student, that's where like a good coach I feel like a good coach is hard to find. You know what I mean? Like, I think coaching is like to be a good coach. Like, I think there's people can be like an instructor and people can be a coach. And where a coach, where you like, you look at the room, you're kind of everyone, you're giving everyone different pointers and you like, you're really focusing on the development and like I'm the type of guy where like I'm bad for this. I'll say this right now. I feel bad because in the moment I can't help myself. During a tournament, my student will win and as soon as he comes off, I'm already telling him what he did wrong. I don't even acknowledge the win
Yeah.
because it's like, you're a white belt, you're a blue belt. Like, I don't care about that. I told you don't try to sub your partner from the closed guard, and you did it. He tapped. He sucks. That's not the point
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Where all I can see is the flaws, and I try to hold it back because, like, that's how I am with myself. Every time I see myself, I'm like, oh my god, like, dude, I have medals that I've won out here and I have videos where I can't even have like the medals not hanging up, and I still to this day I can't watch the footage because I'm so unhappy with like my performance. Like it's winning doesn't matter. Like I have losses that I'm extremely proud of, and I have wins that like I can't stomach. You know what I mean? Like it's
Right.
what you did. And some people are like win by all. Like there's different trains of thoughts on that. I think there's some people in the camp where they're like, a win is a win is a win, right? And I just not because it's like again, like I'm not a competitor. I'm a martial artist. I am about development and like getting the best out of your technique and you know what I mean? So it's like if you win and it looks like trash, it's like I'll be the first one to tell you like no, like, do not do that again. You know what I mean? If you fix the mistakes in the next round and you lose, I'll be like, be proud of that.
Right.
That's what we're here for, you know?
I like what you said, how like that worked, but that guy sucks.
Yeah.
And then like it didn't work, but that guy was really good.
Yeah, exactly. That's
You
straight
know,
up.
like that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, man. Cause it's like, cause I see it a lot in kids class where like, there's always like with kids class, you get such a variety because you got some kids that are like, you can tell like they get it. They're awesome. They're going to be good. Then you have some kids that are like, they're just there because their mom or their parents need them to do something between the hours of 4 and 5. Right. So you get all types. Right. And so you got some kids that are like super good or there's different growth spurts for kids. And you see kids that are just like dominating kids classes. doing just the worst stuff because they're just bigger or stronger than people.
Right.
And you try to be like,
I think that was
don't
me. That was
but
me at
you know what I
Shears,
mean?
man.
Right? You just like you're winning on like horrible technique, but you're like getting all these false positives and you're like, and they're like walking around with their chest out, and I'm sitting there going like, no, like
Yeah.
that's you're not, you know. And then it's those same kids that go out and want to compete, they just get smoked, you
Yeah.
know. And we go, that's why I tell you, like for me, a big pet peeve for me is because kids always try to submit kids while they're in close guard, like from the top. Like they're always trying to, like, they're in someone's close guard and they're trying to like cross choke them and Kimura, just
I see.
this, just the worst stuff, you know. And I remember like just this week, kid was doing that, and I was like, hey, you can't do that. Like, pass the guard. He subbed the kid. Kid was like new. He subbed the kid, then he looked at me and he was like, shut up. Like, I like, shut up. Shut up. Don't just shut up.
We're boxing now.
Yeah, yeah, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Go home. No, where's your dad? But yeah, no. Eh, I feel like it's like I say, like I tell people this all the time. There is wins that I like. I can't. Refuse to think about because I just hate myself for how it looked. And then I have losses that like I've done. Like I got to replicate things that I've been working on in the training room, and it's like, you know, that guy was just better than me, but I hit my foot sweep where I did my guard pass. You know, I think development over everything has to be the thing. And I think depending on gym, sometimes they put winning at all costs. And I,
Yeah.
you know, I feel like kids like that or people who have that mentality, they're good while they're like in their golden years, let's say, like, you know, 20 to like 33, 34, 35. They're athletic and it's like, you know, they can beat everyone because they're just like a phenom. And then it's like, then you get 40 and 45, and it's like, is your tech, you before you could just explode out of that. You didn't have to worry about
Yeah.
A, B, and C. You could go right to C. And you know, I use myself all the time in class where I go like, I always say like I black athleted my way through a lot of stuff where I was really good at white and blue belt because I was a black explosive athlete. And I never had to do A, B, and C. And people would say, hey, you got to do A, then B, then C. I said, I can just jump to C because I'm athletic. And then as I got older, or as you come up to, you know, a different province where the standard's a little bit higher, you start realizing like none of that stuff's working. And I started finding huge holes in my game because I was more prior. I rather have won a round than caught a loss, but like did something properly, sort of thing. And you know, a lot of the holes got exposed, and I did a lot of reworking, like going back and like relearning how to do things super technical instead of trying to be big and black, you know. Uh, sorry for it's true. You know, and so I talk to a lot of like, there's a lot of like kids in not even kids, but adults in this class that are like young athletic guys that are like, they're able to just like do stuff. And I was like, listen, I was like you. I was able to do stuff because I could just explode. That's going to work to a point. Like that has a like a lifespan, right?
Mhm.
And it's like, yeah, winning is great, but it's like I want to be able to do this forever. Like I want to be able to be good at jujitsu, and you know, I want to open up a school and all these things. And it's like I can't teach like how to be an athlete to somebody, but I can teach them how to do a proper roll under sweep, or I can teach them, you know what I mean? And I think those are the things that um all people should value more. They just don't, you know. I think sometimes um winning sometimes, at least early on, can really hurt someone's development, right? Like again, let's say you have bad habits with your striking, but you're beating everyone. No, no, no. All of a sudden, then you go against those Olympic level or those Canadian national champs, and you're like you said, like my plan A worked in any room that I could go in. I never needed to have a plan B. I didn't need one. And then all of a sudden, you go up against higher competition. You go,
Just wish I had a plan
yeah,
B.
wish I had a plan B. Wish I had a plan B. Right. And then you could say, like, let's say people who were not as good as at striking as you, they had to do like they really had to get it out the mud. They had to learn all the stuff like properly. Like, let's say like there'd be a good chance that they would surpass you. Right. Because you're still relying on the stuff that you've been doing forever, never had to change it. And then it's the people who are like not athletic. They're not naturally gifted. They've never been in a fight before. They had to do everything that like A1, A2, A3, B1. You know, maybe at first they're catching L's. You see that same person 5 years from now, they're fucking excellent. They're technically beautiful. And then it's always in any sport, it's always technique that overcomes, right? So it's like I feel like I tell people like I think athleticism held me back a little bit, right? Because again, like it's shears, blue belt, I was doing good. I could roll. I give people hard rolls. Da da. I remember coming out here, man. I was getting pieced up by like white belts, bro. And I was like, so I'd be like, nah, nah, and they're just like technical, and I was like, bro, it's like you hit me in the face, you know. I was like, I got to change it up.
That's are you do you go to the States to compete? Or do you take
Uh,
guys to the States?
No, a lot of my, students compete in the States. I just haven't renewed um, passport, but that's on the thing, like, I have plans. I wanna go compete at Naga. I want a
Yeah,
belt.
yeah.
I want a belt or a sword, whatever they go. And mostly, I wanna go and, corner my students
Mhm.
because like, tons of people from out here go to the States almost every
Yeah.
weekend to
How far
compete.
is it from here?
Shoot, like, the border is probably 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, and then, like, I think the closest,
Spokane
this
probably has so much stuff.
yeah, and, like, I think, like, Everett, I think, is one of the closest places to compete, and I think it's, like, 2 hours away, maybe less. So and they have big tournaments, like, there's a tournament out in Everett, it's called Revolution, I mean, someplace, but it's called Revolution, and there's, like, 1,000 competitors. It's one of the biggest
Mhm.
tournaments in the Pacific Northwest. Send tons of people up there.
That's cool. How do you so when you do think about, like, when you competed, like, back and then you compare that to, like, coaching, like, for me, I'm so much more nervous coaching.
Oh, dude, coaching at a tournament is nuts. Like,
Yeah.
dude, I can't sleep the night before.
Yeah.
I can't eat the whole day, and it's like you're up and you're down. Like, that's the thing you don't notice when you're a competitor, it's a very, like, selfish endeavor. You focus about, like, you show up for your time, you make sure your weight is on point, you do your warm up, you focus on yourself, you got the headphones on, you're mean mugging people, whatever it is, but you're focused on you. Then your match happens, you got your adrenaline, whatever it is, but it's all your feelings. It happens once or twice or however matches you have, then it's done. Man, the last tournament, there was a tournament, oh Lord. It was 3 weeks ago. It was 3 weeks ago, and there was people from all 4 of the gyms that I coach at, they were all competing. I think I coached for matches because it was a grapple industries, which means it's a round robin, so you fight everyone in your division once. So I think I coached 35 matches, something like that, and the kids always go first, so I was there at 9 a.m. And then my last adult division ended at 8:30 at night. I was there all day. Brother, like, I'm nervous, you're up, I'm yelling at refs, and these are, like, nine-year-olds, dude, it's way different.
Yeah.
I say it's one of the hardest things to do, like, coaching your people at tournaments, because like, you win when they win, you lose when they lose.
Yeah.
By the end, it's like when I get home, my wife and my daughter, they don't even come near me, like, I need to, like, just decompress.
Decompress.
I got no voice. I'm just like, I'm so emotionally spent 'cause, like, I care, you know what I
Yeah, and
mean?
you know them,
I know
and
them,
you
I know
know
their
their
struggle, I
goals,
know their stories. Yes.
like, a couple more losses, they might walk away
Yeah,
from this, like,
1,000%.
there's so many things
Or
that
they
you're
hit
just
that
like,
thing that they've been trying. Oh, dude, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking
"I
about it. I'm such
know,
a baby. I
man."
cry all the time. Dude, dude, it's unreal. Like, I think I don't know if we spoke about it on here before, but I was saying, like, when I was first, like, training, I couldn't imagine, like, feeling good coaching. I was like, "It's all about competing and da 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 da." Dude, there is no better feeling than coaching. Coaching and, like And honestly, like not even like athletic people. Like let's say like that soccer mom who wants to lose weight. She ends up getting enough confidence to compete and she gets her first takedown or scores a point or something like that. Dude, some of the feelings that you get from coaching, it's unmatched. That's why I really don't give can I swear in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I really don't give a fuck about competing because it just does not compare to the feeling I get when I'm coaching my people. It's way different. Way different.
It's I think that's even that's different for everyone. But like for me, like in every area of my life, I like winning with other people.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
there's
It's
no
way better.
like in my businesses, in competing, in my
Yeah.
running, in my like when I do a marathon, like I invite as many people as I can,
I see it.
and then I run with the slowest person.
Yeah, that's what's up,
Like it's like
dude.
because I don't need the win,
Yes.
but like I want to see other people win.
Brother. Yes.
Yeah.
And do you think that is because okay, I'm gonna make an assumption. Were you always like that? Or do you think that's something that's developed over time? Not saying like it wasn't there, like
No, no, no.
you're like, fuck these people,
Yeah,
but
it was always there, but it has grown. You
right?
know, because like I'm like when I think about myself, I've always been like confident
Yeah, yeah.
in
I remember.
myself.
I remember. I remember playing 2K against you. I remember. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go on.
Let's shut this down.
Yeah, yeah.
Enough.
Unplug it. I'm out of
You
here.
know, but like also like like competence. You know, like
Yeah, yeah.
I believed I could do things,
Yeah.
so I never had to prove
To
that I could
anyone.
do
Yeah.
it because
Yeah.
like I knew I could. So I always felt better when I could get other people to do it too,
Yeah,
and like prove
yeah.
to themselves that they can do it.
Yeah,
It's like if
yeah.
I can run a marathon with no training, you can too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know,
dude.
like
That's such a great thing to have, dude. Like I totally get what you're saying. Like again, that brings it to the whole competition thing where it's like I could care less about competition. Like I don't need to validate nothing to nobody. What matters to me is like my people doing well. And it's like you like bringing everyone up with you, you know?
yeah.
Like yeah, dude, I
Even
that's
when I compete, like some of my last fights, like I compete to show my boxers
yes,
what
because
competing
you
looks
want to
like.
lead from the front.
Yeah. I'm
100%.
like, okay, I took this fight on a week and a half's
Yeah, yeah,
notice.
yeah.
It's
Just to
like
show them it's not a big deal.
because it's
Just
not a big deal because we're
yeah,
learning.
dude,
And it's
that's
like I just do these things to show them that like this doesn't mean as much as you think it does. We just need to learn. We need to get you. So if you can get a fight on a week's notice to
do
get
it.
in there and get
Just
in the ring as many times as you can, because if you do go to provincials and win, and then you go to national, and now you're going to these tournaments that matter,
yeah,
you want to be prepared for those.
yeah,
You don't want
100%.
to be underprepared for these things that might happen.
That really matter.
Right. So
Oh,
let's
dude.
get these things.
Dude, that's the difference between the boss and a leader, right?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
bosses are from the back, leaders are from the front. That's actually one of the biggest reasons why I competed at ADCC because a bunch of my team was doing it, like from kids to adults. That was like our big, like when everyone came back kind of from summer holidays or like whatever summer, that was the big goal. Like we came back in September. It was like the end of November. I was like, that was the big tournament, right? And that's why it's like I wanted to compete because it's like I wanted to show everybody because it's like at the time there's a lot of white belts and they were nervous. It's a big tournament. It's one of the
Mhm.
biggest tournaments of the year out here. Like I think this year or what 2025, there's over 900 competitors. He's big. He was big, and you got people from the states coming up. It's a big deal, and it's nerve wracking. And it was like I wanted to be there in the trenches with my team, doing like we all did the same kind of camp. You know, it's and again, I didn't care how I did. Like I'm upset with my performance a little bit, but I really didn't care. Like I remember when my wife asked me, she's like, "How you feeling?" It was like the day of or what of like getting ready for my matches, and I was like, it was probably the most calm I'd ever felt because I truly, truly didn't care. Like, I really didn't care. Like, I was like, I'm here. I coached all day. Watching everyone have their fights. Some people competing for the first time in the biggest tournaments of the year. Like, so many emotions. So when it got time to me, I was just like, everyone's done. So I did my thing, and I did okay. But it's like I was not nervous at all. You know what I mean? It was. Didn't matter. It was more about my people than it was about me. Um, you were saying something about, um, oh, no, just like how you said, like how you run with the slowest person, or like, no, how you saying like, you've always been self confident, and I've known that about you. That's one thing. There is like people in the world you see a lot where it's like one of those people who they've never done the thing, but they have so much self confidence that they'll just do it for the first time and be better than like half the room. You know what I mean? And a lot of that is natural skill. Like you've always
Yeah.
been like a pretty naturally skilled dude. But you have a lot of confidence. So I wanted to ask you: did you ever go through any imposter syndrome, like coaching or starting your boxing program, anything like that? Or were you just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna coach and I'm gonna be great," and
Well, the how it happened, it kind of wasn't I wasn't able to get imposter syndrome, I guess, because when I started coaching, it was during COVID.
okay.
So I just started coaching in my garage so that people had a place to train.
Okay, yeah.
So it wasn't like I started at a gym and
It
then it was like,
is it
okay, I
very,
gotta
like,
prove myself
chill?
here.
Yeah,
It was
it's your
like
garage.
I'm like, COVID, I'm gonna and then all of a sudden I have like 20 people in my garage, no masks, just
Yeah,
like
that's what's
cars
up.
all over my house.
No big deal.
And I'm just like, it was just like fun. And then one of the students said, "Man, you should message Alliance. They're going through some coaching
Yeah,
changes
yeah.
and see if
Is
you
that
can
is
get
that when
in
they
there."
left? Is that when a bunch of those guys left to do modern, or was it
It
they
was
left
after
before
that.
that?
It was
Yeah.
after that. Yeah. It was after that. It was like the boxing coaches
Okay,
specifically.
okay,
There was one that left, and then Vicky, she's just started there too.
okay.
And then I kind of started in there a little bit after. But then it was like I already kind of had this
Like a
team
base
built
that you felt comfortable
I
with?
felt comfortable with.
I see. Yeah,
So it
yeah.
wasn't like that, I
Okay,
guess.
yeah. No, I get what you mean.
And then, like, when I kinda seen how boxing operated, like, it was
You're like, "I'm fine. I'm doing fine."
yeah, it was just like it was so, like, similar to, like, just, like, don't train other people like, we're the best like, it was just like that, and I was just like, "Well, I'm not doing that." So then, like,
Yeah,
I started just training everywhere,
that's how you get good.
and, I could see that people, like, liked that.
Yeah, dude.
Like, that, like 'cause how many times people have said to me, "I wish I could train like you." Like, I wish like, I see what you're doing, and it's like, "Don't you?" And I'm just like, "I don't care."
Yeah, just
It's like,
do
if people care, that sucks for
yeah,
them.
that's them.
But,
That's
like,
their
so
projection.
then even now, like, Cope is boxing, like, Gary is one of my closest
Oh,
friends,
that's cool,
Vicky with
dude.
Alliance, like, when I go to Regina, I'm going to all those boxing clubs, and, like, if I'm coaching someone and I could tell that, like, we're just not clicking,
You'd be
I'll
like,
be
"Hey,
like,
try
"Man,
going
you should
here."
go to Vicky,"
That means you
because our
care.
styles are so different, like, she's, like,
Yeah.
European, like,
Yeah, yeah.
like,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
European boxing style, and I'm like, if I have, like, a long, lanky boxer who's, like I'm like, "Man, you should go try her style because I think it would work better. Because 'cause I'm more of, like, inside, like,
Yeah, because there's so many different
mid-range."
styles, right?
Yeah, and then
That takes a big man to say that. That means you
well, it's
actually
just, like
care about the development of
yeah, and
people.
I just don't need credit.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
dude.
fine without credit.
Yeah,
I'm
100%,
fine if no one
100%.
ever says
Yeah,
my
because
name.
it's not what it's about.
No.
It's like at the end of the day, like, at least for me, it's like at the end of the day, I'm just trying to share something that I love with you. And if you end up like loving the thing
Yeah.
that I love, and that's dope. That's more people do in jujitsu. It's dope. You know,
Yeah.
I feel it's such a like a small town, not small town. I don't mean to say that. Such a just such a small, narrow mindset, trying to keep everybody in, like
Yeah, yeah.
not allowing people to like. I get it. Like there's the business thing, right? But it's like I like so Matt, my coach Matt, he was always about cross training. He came up cross training. He would tell us like it would be on a Wednesday, and he'd be like, "Hey, if you guys want to do gi tomorrow, like go to this gym. They have a really good class on Thursdays. Like go check it out." But He was always telling people to go cross train, and you know I feel like people who don't want people to train at other gyms, and it's usually over money. It's usually because they just see dollar signs leaving. I think it has the opposite effect.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if this happens with you, but with us, there are certain gyms like GB. I don't mean to shit on Gracie Bar, but like certain gyms around here where like they'll come and we'll do like a group picture and they have to be like out of the picture and you can't tell people that they showed up. And it's like as a grown up, if you were going to have to hide what you do as like a hobby because like your coach will get mad, it's like people tend to leave those type of gyms. But if you're the type of person who's like, yeah, go wherever, and they feel like they don't have to hide what they're doing, they'll stay to you just out of like, he was cool. Let's let me go wherever. I feel you lose more people trying to tell them not to go places, and like
And if you're scared that people are gonna leave you,
means you're
be a better coach.
exactly.
You
That's
know?
exactly. That means like
Coach better.
you don't trust your product.
Right.
Like if you were so good,
Yeah.
then why are you afraid of people leaving? And Matt would always say it like this. He's like, at the end of the day, it's a service. You pay me money, and in exchange, I give you a service. He's like, so let's say you got a membership at like Good Life, and you went to work out at Gold's Gym. They don't phone you up, be like, what the fuck you doing at Gold's Gym? I
Yeah,
thought like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like
Right.
I pay you. I can do whatever I want. Like,
Yeah.
but again, like with martial arts and stuff, like there's a bit of that cult worship type of stuff, but like when Matt said it to me, it was just so funny. He's like, I'm a service. Like your gym wouldn't get mad if you went and lifted at another gym. They don't care. Like it's your money. You can do whatever it is that you want. And that's kind of like how I look at it. And also too, you got to trust your product.
Right.
Like if you're good at what you're doing, tell people to go. And it's like, if they like you, they will say it. And again, like what you said before, everybody I could be saying the same message as 6 other coaches, but it's just how they deliver it,
Right.
how they say it. It just lands a little bit better. Everyone's a little bit
Even like
different.
it comes down to a vibe sometimes.
Thousand
You know,
percent.
like
Thousand
for
percent.
for me, I had somebody who like we trained together, but then later we became pretty good friends.
Mhm.
But he said he went and started trading with Vicky because he thought I was mad all the time. I was always mad at him.
Is
But
your
just
heart on
just
him?
because I'm direct,
Oh, yeah, that's so
but like
funny.
I'm just like direct.
Yeah, yeah.
But like I'm never mad.
No, it's
But like just how his personality is, directness is anger,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know? So then like he just didn't like it and couldn't handle it.
That it's so true, dude. It's so funny. I learned this from a video game, whereas it was a basketball game when I used to play franchises, and you can look at the player and you could see how they like to be coached. They needed like either tough love or they needed to be like the pat on the back. And it's
Yeah,
like that's what people are.
it is.
Some people need you to be like, oh, there's a good try. Maybe next time, like put your hand here, and people like world champ. That's what they need. And then there's some people like me, I need you to like spit on me and be like, "You're a piece of shit. If you do not hit this, like we're gonna start hitting your kids. Like figure it out or get out of here." Like that. I need tough love.
Me
It's
too,
just
man.
just what I need. Everybody's different, right? And like you said, a lot of it is vibe. Like, dude, you could go to a world-class gym, okay? Have the best coaches and the best sparring partners. But if you don't click there, you
Yeah.
don't feel like connected to anyone, you're not going to grow.
It's not gonna work.
How many people do you know, and this could be in any discipline, who've come from like a gym that's like not great, but they're really good.
Yeah.
Maybe they just vibe with the people, and at the end of the day, technique is technique, and it's like if you enjoy where you're at, this can be with jobs. You could have the best job in the world, maybe with a bunch of assholes, it's gonna suck. If you're working the honey truck, but everybody's dope, you're gonna love your job. It's the same with gyms. Like I totally agree. Vibe is everything, you know? Um, Especially out in the lower mainland, there's so many gyms. Like I always tell people, like people who come here for the first time, I'd be like, hey, this is kind of how we teach, da da da. And I always say, just so you know, like there's a gym down the street, and I tell people to go everywhere because I'm also of the mindset that like there's enough room for everyone at the table. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I don't get this whole tear down type of shit. Like we lift.
Well,
If you get to one place, you reach your hand down, you bring everybody up. You know what I mean? Like
it's like
so.
there's like that quote of like uh Like, there's 2 ways to build the biggest tower.
Mhm.
The first way is to just build the biggest tower, you know? The second way is to build, like, a medium-sized tower and then just tear down all the ones that are bigger,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
you know? And
Perfect.
it's, like, stupid.
Yeah, just build
Just
your
just
just
build the biggest
build your
tower,
own. That's exactly right,
you
dude.
know?
And I feel there's so many people like that in life that like instead of progressing, they or you know what I mean, they just pick apart other
Shit it on
people
everyone else.
or you know what's worse is like the people that are like not progressing or like those people that are like good in that room and then they go to a different place and they get beat up or something like that. And then you could like they never go back there again. And they
Yeah,
just like to be like the big fish in the small pond. And it's just like, what are you doing? Like, I don't know. But I'm so about development, I guess. Some people
yeah,
just like to feel that's the thing is that we have to understand that not everybody sees life the same. Some people just want to be the man. That's
yeah.
it. Some people just want to go to the kids class and hit kids and be like, I'm the toughest person in this
That's
gym.
true. Just need a place to feel good.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's like, I don't wanna yuck somebody's yum, like, I mean, if that's what you're into, not everyone's into being, like, into personal development, you know what I mean? It's hard sometimes. I get caught in my own stuff where I'm like, "Well, why wouldn't you?" Like, I'll tell people, like, "Yeah, like, you should come here on Saturdays because 'cause they're, like, super tough," and, yeah, I could tell as I'm talking to them, like, when their eyes start to go, like, you know, they don't listen, they don't
Yeah,
care, and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that's right, not everyone's a psycho and just, like, demands the best all the time." Some people are like, dude, I want to show up. I want to beat up the same four people that I've been beating up for years and then go home.
yeah.
It's not wrong. You know what I mean? That's a way to live a life.
Man, it's like, even how like, even with life, because like, I'm big on reading,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
you know? Like, just, like, learning. I just like
Yeah.
learning from
Yes.
other people who have done it better than me,
100%.
and I always get on people for reading. Like, I'm just like, "You should read," or, like, listen to podcasts or
Do you
listen to
do you count
audiobooks.
audiobooks?
Yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah,
Okay. Ooh,
audiobooks.
ooh, we almost had to shut this down.
Reading is better.
Well, calm down. Listen, you
But
can't read while driving. So
people who challenge accepted.
Today on the local news, one man died because of 42 car pileup.
But it's funny because, like, even, like, not in sport, but just, like, in life, I'm like, you don't read? Like, you don't listen to audiobooks, you don't listen to, like and you're just,
Knowledge.
like, good I'm like, if you're not aware of this, your best thinking has gotten you to where you are right now,
Yes.
and
Yes.
where you are sucks.
You know what's crazy? Not everyone feels like that. Some people are
I
like,
know, man.
so
I
many people
know.
are so down with being like good enough.
Yeah.
Good enough. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm
No, no,
sorry.
no.
I'm sorry.
Go no.
No, but it's like that whole good enough. There's so many people who ask me, especially in the first couple of years when we moved out here. Like when we moved out here, I knew nobody. I had one friend who moved out here because he was scaffolding, and he's like, "Hey, if you move out here, I can maybe get you a job." And it was like where I was good enough, and like I could have, like, you know that saying, like, being around people who are doing the same shit they were doing last year, sort of thing. And it's like you got to take risks to have like more than what you think you deserve. Like me and Melissa, we always would say this mantra, why not us? Like it happens to other people, why
Yeah.
not us? Right? Like everybody's everything was crazy until they did the thing. So it's like, why not them? Like, so it's like, I remember telling Melissa, I was like, because at the time, like, we are going through a big financial rut because Melissa couldn't work. I owned a house. I lost the house to foreclosure, like going through lots of stuff. My mom wanted me to move back home, and that was the easy route. We could have did that, and I could have worked at the co-op and, and been just okay, and instead took this huge leap of faith, came over 2 provinces and came to a place where I knew nobody, like, nobody, but it's like, it's worth the risk, especially at the time like, my daughter, my youngest, just was born. It's like, I wanna give her the ability to, like, grow up in a place where there's, like, thinking outside the box isn't thinking outside the box. Like in Saskatoon, if someone were to say to you, I'm going to work on film sets, that sounds a little odd out there. They'd be like, okay, like, good luck, buddy. You know what I mean? Like, it sounds so far fetched. Someone's like, I'm going to work on film sets. And you're like, yeah, okay, good luck. You come out here, like, that's like a third
The
of the
norm.
people that do. Yeah, like, it's like, I'm in a world or you're in a place where like, why not us is like everybody or
Yeah.
everywhere, right? So when it's like good enough just was not good enough. It's like, you gotta take a risk, right?
Yeah.
Like, if it wasn't for that, believe this part over, it's like, I could be training at shoes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
I mean, be half as good as I am now. Definitely not teaching rooms full of people.
yeah. Well, like like even like that's how boxing is, you know, like Saskatchewan's on the bottom of the barrel for for boxing. You
Well,
know, it's like it's just like if you want to get high level in boxing, you should probably move.
you gotta go,
You
you
should
know?
probably move.
Which is it is that kinda sucks in a way, right?
It does suck.
Because like, what do you think the biggest do you think it's a lack of athletes or a lack of coaches or a little bit of lack of,
A
like,
little bit
maybe
of
the
both, but
organization, there's not enough
listen,
money in it?
when I got into boxing, there was not great coaches. Like there was one or two gyms in
Because I
Saskatoon.
think Nelson's was a thing, right?
Nelson was before I got into
Okay,
boxing, but
okay. Yeah,
that was a good
that's the only gym I knew of
yeah,
at the
and
back in the day.
yeah, she was wicked
Yeah,
and like a legit
like Olympic level. Yeah,
champion
yeah.
who turned into a coach. But then when I first got in, like, you know, like Hub City,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
and like not strong coaching, you know?
It's more like just for, like, a cardio
Right,
type thing,
right.
yeah.
And then uh there was Dennis Page who he's a good coach, but he only took like a handful of people. He had like a small
Oh,
space.
yeah, yeah.
Now, like Gary Copus, legit.
Yeah,
Vicky Fairweather,
yeah.
legit. You know, like there's legit.
So it's on the up right
Right,
now.
it's on the up right now
Nice,
by like so much. And
nice.
then now the boxers that are coming out of those gyms
I'm starting
are
to
gonna be like they're gonna do
yeah.
if they want to be coaches, they can because of how. And now it's like becoming something. So we're at the bottom now, but like if it keeps going this way, like we got national champions now in
That's what's
Saskatchewan. You
up.
know, like
See, I think it takes for people not to give up on it,
right,
sort of thing. Like, because if everyone was like, well, yeah, like if you want to get better than this point, you got to leave. Well, if everyone leaves, nobody stays, right? Then it'll always
yeah.
kind of be like the farm team for other
But
provinces.
the thing too is like leave and then come back.
Yes,
Don't
learn and then bring it back.
yeah, bring it
Absolutely,
back,
dude.
man.
That was always one
Because
of
that's
my
the
goals that I thought of, like coming back and starting a
yeah.
gym or something. That is what it should be. Bring the knowledge back and raise everybody else up.
Because because I always think about like you know, like reserves
Mhm.
and then like in the States, like the hood and
Yeah, yeah.
stuff, you know, it's like they leave and never come back.
Yeah, never. Yeah.
And then it's like now that just stays the hood.
And then it just stays, and then they end up
Or that
shitting
just
on it or
stays the
something.
res,
Yeah.
you know, and it's just like go back
Yes, and do
later and
something good.
help,
Yes, the people that helped you get to where
you
you're at.
know? It's just
100%.
like but it's just like, "We gotta get out of here, we gotta get out of here," and then you get out, and then it's like
Then you forget where you came from.
right.
No, I think what you're doing, like I've been watching a lot of stuff that you've been doing. I'm happy with what you're doing. And it's like I think people just need to like it's like they have the ability to see the current situation, know that it's not working, and instead of going like, you know what, I'm just gonna go do something else somewhere else. It's like because it's like it's easy to leave. It's easy to go to like, to BC or the Montreals or all the other places and do it because you know what I mean. Why stay and work hard where you're at? I think it takes special kind of people to be like, no, like this is where
Yeah.
I'm from, and I'm going to put the work in, build something. I think it's a little bit more
And it is
meaningful.
fine to leave,
It is. It is.
you know,
It
because it
is.
does take a certain person.
Yeah, it has to be the right person.
Yeah,
100%.
because, like, even because, not like, it's not like I'm, like, the greatest coach or, like, the greatest leader, but, like, one thing I've always had is, like, a big capacity to handle things,
Yeah, yeah,
to
yeah,
handle a lot,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like, I've
yeah,
never really gotten overwhelmed or
yeah,
gotten,
yeah,
like, depressed or
yeah.
anxious.
Frazzled out or frizzled out,
I've just
whatever.
always been able to just, like,
Yeah,
handle a lot,
yeah,
and lots of people can. They just, like, we're not wired that way.
yeah.
So it's like some people just weren't built to be put in certain
That's
situations,
right. That's
you
right.
know? And
Yeah.
it's like, unfortunately, some people just, like, don't have the wiring.
That's true. Not everyone's built to lead.
Right,
A
not
lot of people think they can
yeah,
until they have to. Till everyone it's that moment where, like, you look up and everyone's eyes are on you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then I think a lot of people can't handle that, and not just like eyes, but just like let's say metaphorically. But it's like when you kind of like when people go to look around and like you're the person they're looking for. A lot of people get freaked out. I think a lot of people can say stuff like can pay lip service and that like or like how many people like if something popped off they would be like I would do this and I would do that and then something happens or like people who always talk about like how tough they are and then a fight happens and then like what the fuck is those guys? You know what I mean?
You
Like
better go there.
yeah, like so many people think they're made of stuff
Yeah.
and then not. And then you know what? On the flip side, there's a lot of people who don't think that they can do anything,
And they can.
they can,
Frick,
and
man.
they
Like,
can.
s- oh man, there's some of my boxers. There's one especially who's like one of the toughest people I've ever met in my entire life, and they don't think they are anything.
I like him already.
It's a girl,
I like her already.
and she's a freaking beast.
Good.
Like, she can do anything she puts her mind to, and she just does
She
it,
just has no self confidence,
right? And I'm just like, what the heck, man?
brother.
If
That's
you
one.
saw yourself how I
How
see
other
you,
people, dude.
you would be like a multi-millionaire, freaking world champion, freaking
You
everything.
name it. You know what, dude? I think what comes to you easily, like the cold, so many people, like, dude, I myself, it took me so long to like even start to think that I was like a good coach. Like I had so much self-doubt for like forever, dude, forever. And I still battle with it. Like that is a skill, and it's one of those things that like you could be fine one day and then the next day you gotta like have that look in the mirror, like you can do this, you know what you're doing.
Mhm.
I it doesn't come to everyone, I'll tell you that. Like that is something like so there's so many people that like don't know how others see them. And sometimes that's a good
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
Like, it's like that whole like that hot girl who doesn't know she's hot, therefore, like that's why she's not a bitch, that sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like some people, it's like it's good that they don't see it because it like maybe like it'll go to their head. But there's so many people who have so much what's the word I'm looking for? Potential. And they just the only thing that stops them is their self. Like they just don't see that they can do it. They don't think that they can do it. And like it's so easy for me to give advice. Like I'll see people like that all the time, and it's like I'll make it my mission the young lady that you're with today, like, it's like I'll make it my mission. One of my missions with her is for her to see how strong she really is,
Yeah.
right? Like, but with me, I could never do that with me. Like, I'm sitting there going, "You're worthless. You're a piece of shit. You don't even get to eat today. You don't even get to eat today. You're an idiot. Don't even eat." But anyone else, it's like it's all I
You
do
don't
is
get to
yeah, like
today.
no, not at all. Like you're brutal, brutal. I hate myself all the time. Oh my god, But it's like seeing the potential in other people and helping them see it is such. That's the difference between a coach and like an instructor. You know what I mean? An instructor just shows up, 5 minutes before class, punches in, da da da, ring the bell, ding ding, class is over, no questions, got to run. You know what I mean? Like
The
some
mental side is the hardest part, man.
it's the real thing. Anyone can show how to throw a cross. Like not anyone, but I mean, like, sorry, so I didn't mean it like that. Like, and this interview's over. But like anyone can show a technique. You know what I mean? It's about can you show them how like their own strengths. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? What they are capable of. That's what being a coach is. I think that's the most rewarding thing. It's like those moments where you see them find it, like when you see them have those aha moments, and they're like,
Yeah, yeah.
"Oh," you're like, "Yeah, yes, that's what it's about, dude. That's what it's
Yeah,
about."
that's cool, man.
The only reason I wake up in the morning.
Yeah, for me, it's like it's easy to coach because I understand that, like, I'm not the best, but I'm valuable to somebody.
Yes, dude. Yes,
It's
100%.
like let's say there's 10 levels, and let's say I'm at level 6. That means
Mhm.
there's 5 levels under me that I can help.
There's people who their whole life will never even get to level 2.
Right.
You're a lifetime asset.
Exactly.
100.
So it's just like I'm gonna help somebody, and then if once I can't help them anymore, they can move
Then they
on,
move on, and then you're just
and
part of
that's
their
fine.
journey. You know what? Humility is a big thing from, coaching. One of the things that I took from my coach Matt, and it's kind of what you said is like he's like one of the best things you learn, like one of the biggest things, like to be a good coach is like don't be afraid to say I don't know.
Yeah.
Like like I'm sure you've met these type of coaches where no matter what question you have, they're like, and you're there like you can tell they're conflicting their answers, and it's like they always have an answer. You know what I mean? Even if they're just bullshitting. And I hate that. You know, it's like showing like I says like I'm not the best coach, and I know I'm not. Like, it's like, listen, you want to be like a black belt world champion, probably not your guy. You know, if you want to learn some technique, you know, you want to go to a couple local tournaments, you know, I'll help you get there, you know. But it's like being real about yourself. I think it's like makes you more personable to your students, which makes it easier for them to learn from you. You know what I mean? Kind of like that whole like we all make mistakes. Or like when someone asks me a good question, we're like, I don't know. That's a good question. I'll get back to it. Like I'll look it up and then I'll come back to you, you know?
ChatGPT.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Give me a second. So it turns out you need to have 7 fingers on one hand. But I think humility is a big thing. Like not being afraid to be wrong or to be vulnerable to your students. Cause it's like, again, to get away from that, like that worship thing where it's like the coach can never do wrong. And that's where you get like people abusing power and all that stuff. Like I often tell my people like, or I'll say something like, this is how I do it. It's like definitely not the best way. There's better ways. There's worse ways. Like I'm always trying to let people know that it's like, I'm not better than you. Like I've done this longer than you. I'm not better than you. Like there's nothing special about me. You know what I mean? Like it's just, you know what I mean? Like just trying to be like a real person. I think it makes people, it's easier for people to like want to, I guess, learn from you. You know what I mean? Makes you just a little bit more real. Yeah, I think it's a big thing.
Yeah, that's well, we're almost at an hour and a half.
Jeez. That's a long time.
Bad, eh?
Not bad. I talk so much, dude.
No, but that's what podcasts are for.
Sometimes I talk, and then in my head, I'm like, where did I start this conversation?
Did
And
I
then,
answer the
yeah,
question?
yeah, yeah. So, anyways, dill pickles are my favorite.
I'm just like, what are you talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah. That's
Still going.
yeah. I do that in class all the time.
No, man, that's one like honestly, like people who are good at talking, I love having them on.
Don't post this. They'll be like, what is this guy talking about?
Like,
You're like,
man, one time I had a guy on and I didn't say a single word for 24 minutes.
that's
I was like, yes,
yeah,
this is what I like.
great
This is
content.
my
Yeah, this is
style.
great content.
Yeah, and he just told his story, telling his story. I just listened.
I I try to I'm working on letting people talk
Yeah.
more. I tend to talk too much. It's the ADHD thing. I can't help it.
Oh, it's okay. Okay. Um, but this was awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I haven't done a jujitsu class. I don't even remember the last time I did a jujitsu
Did you
class.
like it?
Yeah, it was
I did. Do
awesome.
you like the technique?
Yeah, it
Good.
was awesome. It was
Excellent.
fun. It was it's like I'm excited to go back to jiu-jitsu one day.
I don't know why you ever quit. You're always
Well, cause
you're
man,
good.
I'm like I got a box.
You can do both. There's nothing. They're not mutually exclusive, Cole.
Anyways,
No, dude, it's good
you know what?
talking to
Eric
you.
slammed me.
Eric Wilson?
Yeah, we were because I hop in the MMA sparring
Yeah,
sometimes.
I saw a video or two.
Oh man. So one time he tried to take me down. I just grabbed onto the cage, held on,
Cheated.
stopped his takedown. Is what you meant to say. Who got the takedown? Nobody. And then the other time he freaking slammed me. My freaking back hurt for like 2 weeks.
Dude,
I haven't went back to that sparring.
he's so good, and he's like a smaller guy. Like he's
Yeah.
not like he's super strong, but he's like small in stature, like compared to other people. He's so good. His wrestling's so good. He's good at judo.
Yeah.
He's just
He's handsome.
he's a real well, I mean, you know, all us fighters are
All that
there's
fire.
it's like 5 is the best you could do. But he is a talented, talented dude. And he's a good coach too.
He's a good
He's
coach.
a good coach. He
Yeah.
explains things really well. And I like the way, like, when it comes to grappling, just the of all the experiences he's had in his life, like, he has such a different way at looking at grappling. Like, for the longest time, I looked at grappling like it's jujitsu. It's jujitsu. And then it's like there's so much more to grappling. And him and like guys like Stu, they're the perfect, kind of like embodiment of that. Like
Yeah.
they don't do jujitsu, like they do, but it's like they do grappling. Like they really mix it in well. So it's like they're fun
Even
rounds.
he has, like, a sport conditioning
Oh,
class twice a week,
he's a
and
crazy person.
he just took a course with the UFC,
Oh, crazy.
their strength and conditioning
Oh,
stuff.
crazy.
Man, the stuff he like, so now, like, his cardio is
His cardio is
he
always
just, like,
big.
morobs you, man, and I'm
Yeah.
just like,
He's so good.
yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
fuck you.
Yeah, 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 yeah. In closing, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
Um, but
Fuck anyone with good cardio, to be
yeah,
honest.
yeah.
But
Well,
thank you very much.
no, man, it was
My
awesome
God.
having you. It was awesome to see you. We were
Yeah.
trying to calculate when the last time we saw each other. I think 12, at least
At
12.
least
At
12.
least 12 years. I haven't freaking punched you in the face
No,
for
forever. No. Yeah, never.
but man, it's awesome to see what you're doing, man. You've always been a good friend and it's cool to see you doing good.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thank you for having me on. It's pretty cool. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming out.
That's
Oh,
right.